A Tesla owner was hurled through the air after... I'm sorry. I saw this tweet too. Michael Hudson, Channel 10 AU, just said Tesla has the world's safest car as a meteorite hits a Model Y in Australia. Even God don't like EVs. His EV's battery. This is by Jack Toledo. That's a great name. He should be a private detective. And this was from October 2025. Shocking video showed a fiery explosion that sent a Tesla driver flying in Canada after he attempted to charge his electric vehicle using a third-party device. Shouldn't really happen, that, should it? There should be some sort of safeguard to stop you plugging the wrong thing in. But anyway, the recently released footage showed the driver at a charging station in Hope, British Columbia in August 2024. And he was using a non-Tesla adapter when a sudden explosion launched him to the ground. You'd have thought it had launched him in the air, wouldn't you? Not to the ground, knocked him to the ground. The man was seen standing in the exact spot where the blast occurred when the explosion sent a flame into the sky, followed by a thick cloud of smoke. It's the smoke that you should be more worried about. Kind of burns are bad, but they heal. But the smoke, the damage caused to your lungs by the smoke, some of the reports I've read, it's just horrible. It don't bear thinking about. The driver was seen stumbling away from the vehicle and falling to the ground before slowly getting back to his feet. The passenger in the car appeared to be unharmed and was shown running out to check on the driver. Flipping heck, I'd be running out to get away from the flipping car that was now on fire. So kudos to them. The victim had been using an unapproved A2Z EV adapter about 50 times until a combination of malfunctions led to the blast, which left him minor scrapes and burn marks to his vehicle, according to a report by Technical Safety BC. The incident occurred due to a short circuit within the DC fast charger, resulting in abnormal voltage being sent through the cable to the adapter that led to an arc flash. An arc flash is a type of an electrical explosion that can be caused by high voltages of currents, moisture content and damaged insulation, according to NFPA. I suppose an arc flash is also the way that you weld things with an electric arc welder. Recently released footage showed the driver at the charging station in Hope, British Columbia in August 2024 using a non-Tesla adapter. The man was seen standing at the exact spot where the blast occurred when the explosion sent a flame into the sky. A statement released by A2Z EV noted that the company launched its own investigation and concurred with the TSBC report. The company's statement also noted that diagnostic data and event logs confirmed multiple warnings before the explosion, showing that the charger had a ground fault condition that was not fixed. It doesn't get any better. A2Z EV added that its own inspection discovered no manufacturing or installation defect in the connected A2Z EV adapter. The damage observed was consistent with exposure to an external ground fault originating from the charger, the company said. The adapter became a secondary path for current once the charger's internal fault energized the ground circuit. The company said that it values safety and stands by the integrity of its testing programs. We will remain transparent with our customers, partners and regulators as we work together to build a stronger and safer EV charging ecosystem, it said. It's not something that we wanted to see happen, especially not with our adapter or with any adapter on the market, because this creates fear with EVs, A2Z CEO Ami Vibe told the Vancouver Sun. Well, yes, it does create fear with EVs, but do you know what I think? I think that that's a public charger. How many private chargers will there be in future? How many times will somebody buy a new house and there's a charger on the front that has been misused? There's something wrong with it. The person before didn't have an EV, they just had the house and they've never used it. And you plug your charger in and something goes wrong. Now, I've also read in the past that it is possible, if you walk between two EVs that are charging, they reckon they've ruled this out now, well, I wouldn't want to take a chance, and you accidentally touch them, you know, there is a chance that you become an earth, and the fastest way for electricity to get to ground is through you. You know, and woe betide you. I remember when I was younger and my mum asked my dad to put a new plug on the hairdryer. And, you know, men, they don't hear you for probably the first 6 times. And then they say, I'll do it, I'll get round to it, don't worry, it's next on my list. My mum couldn't wait, so she put a new plug on the hairdryer. And then she plugged it in the wall to dry my hair. And it probably, there was a big flash. And it threw the hairdryer out of my mum's hand and across the floor. I was probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5. And to my knowledge, she never put another plug on for the rest of her life. I saw this tweet too and decided to try and investigate it a little bit. Michael Hudson, Channel 10 AU, just said Tesla has the world's safest car as a meteorite hits a Model Y in Australia. Even God don't like EVs. Andrew drives a Tesla, and that night he wasn't driving. The car was, and that night, 110 kilometers an hour down the freeway when the window exploded. The car drove on nice and steady. Tesla, the world's safest car in a meteor shower.
While we were incapacitated, the car was quite happy to keep going on. It was amazing. So, yeah. Thank you, Tesla.
Museum investigates whether meteorite collided with car on regional highway. Scientists are investigating whether an object that smashed and partially melted a man's car windscreen was a meteorite in what could potentially be a world-first case of a collision with a moving vehicle. While a vet, Andrew Melville Smith, was travelling along the Augusta Highway, 40 kilometres past Port Germain, when he heard a loud and violent bang. A truck went past. 5 to 10 seconds later, there was an enormous explosion, Dr. Melville Smith said. Glass went flying inside the car. There was white smoke everywhere, and we could smell burning. My wife thought the car was on fire. I thought we'd crashed. It was that loud. It was that violent. It was totally unexpected. Dr. Melville Smith said he did not see the object strike the windscreen, but was left bleeding and was covered in glass fragments. He said his car, an electric Tesla, set to self-driving mode, did not stop when struck. So they could have been dead and the car was still driving. That's another plus point, isn't it, for electric cars and self-driving? It's just ridiculous. The car was driving along and unconcerned. It wasn't aware of the chaos that was going on in the cabin, he said. He said he initially thought the idea of a meteorite hitting his car was a load of rubbish, but contacted the South Australian Museum to investigate. A lot of people go, no way, he said. But offer another explanation. What else melts your windscreen? An electric car on fire, that melts your windscreen. A thermal runaway. I think I'd have more luck buying a lottery ticket because it's so rare. Investigation begins. The museum's mineralogy assistant collection manager, Kieran Meaney, said that if the object proved to be a meteorite, it would be a world first case of one hitting a moving vehicle. The odds of that happening are just phenomenally low. If he'd been driving 10 kilometres faster or slower, it would have missed him, Dr. Meaney said. It missed my left shoulder by 6 inches and hit me right in the middle of the head. He said he was initially hesitant about Dr. Melville Smith's claims, but once he saw the photos, he thought an earthly explanation didn't add up. Andrew's first thought was that it was a bullet or a stone had been flicked up from a truck, but the police quickly ruled that out, Dr. Meaney said. The really unusual thing is that the glass of his windscreen has actually melted a little bit. There was a lot of heat in whatever hit the windscreen. That's the key thing I can't find a good explanation for. It may be the case once we investigate further, we find out it's something different, but at the moment that's the theory we're working with. Dr. Meany said the team would analyse the windscreen for any debris that became lodged in the glass during the collision, a process which could take weeks or months. He said they would also investigate whether the object could have been falling space junk or pieces of an old satellite. We'll do chemical analysis to see what they're made of, if they match any known meteorites or something closer to Earth, he said. If we do find out that it's a meteorite, we will probably end up going out to where this happened and trying to find the bit of rock. I think they should be doing that now, to be honest. Expert sceptical. John T. Horner, a professor of astrophysics at the University of Southern Queensland, said he had good cause to be sceptical about whether the object was a meteorite, given he had not seen reports of flashes of light. 2, 3 or 4 minutes before, well that's actually a good point, because I was going home and out of the corner of my eye I saw something. I looked up and honestly there was flames across the sky. I couldn't believe my own eyes. I expected there to be a massive bang, but it just disappeared. I actually went onto a site of where you can report meteors. I thought I was seeing things, but I think 7 other people had seen this and reported it too. Also, me and my girlfriend, we were sat having a drink at the Grand Hotel Excelsior Victoria in Sorrento, and both of us saw this flaming meteor. Again, if she hadn't seen it, I wouldn't have believed my own eyes. I wouldn't rule anything out, especially if somebody was aiming at a Tesla. 2, 3 or 4 minutes before this rock hit the car, there should have been very widely observed across that region a fireball in the sky, at least as bright as a full moon, if not significantly brighter, Professor Horner said. He said small meteorite falls occurred all the time in Australia, and there had been examples overseas of meteorites hitting parked cars. He said contrary to what is portrayed in Hollywood films, meteorites are typically cold to the touch by the time they land on Earth. The reason is these things have been held at the cold temperatures at the depths of space for billions of years, and they've had a fleeting few seconds of being heated up as they pass through the atmosphere, he said. That means they have a very thin layer of heat on the outside and a lot of cold on the inside. Professor Horner said the case was a challenging one to piece together, and other potential theories should not be ruled out. Maybe it's something that's fallen off an aircraft flying overhead, he said. Not saying it isn't a meteorite, I'm just saying there is a good cause to be sceptical when it could just be a rock from another source. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.